Day 5 may be the one that many campers have been waiting on. People love animals. Today is about much more than cute critters. It's about lessons that we learn from animals, community, cooperation, and interconnectedness. Genesis 8 is probably the most famous animal story in all of Scripture. We know about the flood and the rainbow. Well, what does the story tell us about God? The first thing the story tells us is that God remembers. God remembered Noah, and God also remembered both the wild and domestic animals. God remembered them all. Why did God remember Noah and the animals? God remembered them because God cares about creation. Upon remembering, God takes action and the flood subsides. Noah follows the same patterns as God. First, Noah remembers. Noah remembers God's covenant that the flood won't last forever. Then, just as God began to work through the wind and the end of the rain, Noah takes action, looking for the animals for help. Noah couldn't fly and find dry land by himself. He needed the gifts of the birds, just as they needed shelter during the flood. The raven and the dove helped Noah learn where the earth was safe again, giving us a beautiful picture of God's creatures working together. Each diverse creature needs each other. It is important to remember that this story was not written as history or science. It was written in a time when people attributed all events to God, good or bad, and did not see the bad things as reflecting negatively on God. Living thousands of years later, we hear this story and usually have one of two reactions. Put the animals in a boat all over the church nursery, or dismiss the story as a complicated and frightening image of God who thinks that destroying everything is okay and that the rainbow will make it all better. If we can get past the ancient author's need to explain the catastrophic flood as an act of God and their need to blame humanity, we can peel back more layers of the story. We can see the power of memory and action. We can see the importance of relationship. We can see how people and animals found survival together and how God aches for them through the ordeal. We can also see the seasons and cycles of Ecclesiastes lived out and experienced by the unique crew of the ark. This understanding allows us to follow the examples of remembering and taking action. Sometimes our actions require bold actions that value all of creation. Sometimes our actions will look like the active waiting we see from the passengers in the ark. It is in our shared life with animals that we give thanks for the way that they help us keep balance with creation. Campers may not be divided by species and ecosystem, but they live in a divided world. Many live isolated lives. This is a day for them to claim the ways we need each other and to seek connection beyond entrenched divisions. Creation often speaks not to one of us, but as a people, as a community. Creation reminds us that we need to listen to each other, to remind us of each other's presence, and we need each other to take action.